This is not just a driver going out and buying a race car. Garrett Mitchell, known online as Cleetus McFarland, has picked up a straight-rail Pro late model chassis from Port City Race Cars, and the car has been prepared through Rette Jones Racing. But he did not stop there. He has now announced an entire touring series built around this single car, with the opening event set for Berlin Raceway on August 15th, and the winner of that race walking away with $20,000. Keep in mind, this is a guy who already owns the Freedom Factory down in Bradenton, Florida, and already runs about 6 Crown Victoria events every single year. So now, with this move, he owns the car, the track, the promotion, and the seat time all at once. Let's break down exactly how all of these pieces connect. Start with the car itself. It is the number 33 Pro late model, built on a straight rail chassis from Port City Race Cars, and prepped by Rette Jones Racing. That second part matters more than people realize. Rette Jones Racing is the very same team that fielded his number 30 car in the ARCA Menard series, including the race that produced the best finish of his stock car career so far. That team also races in Pro late model competition regularly. So this is not a case of somebody buying equipment they don't understand and trying to figure it out alone in a garage. He is stepping into this with a team beside him that already knows the setup, the tires, and how these races actually play out. His first real test came at Tri-County Speedway, where he put in a full day behind the wheel of the new car. There was one small spin during the session, which is honestly about as normal as it gets for a first extended run in an unfamiliar car. What stood out more was how he reacted afterward, and he didn't hold back. He said this thing was way better than anything else he had been driving, that it had a ton of grip without so much horsepower that you get into trouble the second you touch the gas. He mentioned that even when it slid out, it wasn't scary, because he wasn't doing 180 miles an hour like he was used to. His neck was burning from how much steering input the car demanded, and overall, he said the car was seriously impressive, especially the brakes. That reaction basically sums up the whole reason this purchase makes sense. Less horsepower, more grip, and constant steering the entire way around the track. A car that keeps a driver actively working through every part of the corner instead of just holding the throttle wide open and coasting. To understand why this shift matters so much, look at how split his results have been. There is a version of Garrett Mitchell who is genuinely fast, and a version who has clearly been overwhelmed, and the difference comes down to the type of track. On superspeedways, he has shown real speed. He picked up top 10 finishes at both Talladega and Charlotte in the ARCA Menard series during 2025, with his best finish being 9th at Charlotte. Then in the spring of 2026 at Talladega, he came agonizingly close to winning, finishing second behind Andy Jankowiak in the Rette Jones Racing car. He also grabbed a pole position at Michigan International Speedway. Superspeedway racing rewards patience, throttle control, and knowing how to read the draft, and those are exactly the strengths he already has. Everywhere else, though, it has been a different story. His NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series debut at Daytona back in February 2026 ended early after a crash, and he finished 37th. His debut in the NASCAR O'Reilly Auto Parts Series at Rockingham in April was rough. Then at Nashville Superspeedway at the end of May, rain wiped out qualifying, forcing him to start dead last, and he finished 32nd, several laps down. The pattern is pretty clear once you line it all up. Short tracks and intermediate tracks demand tire management, precise braking, controlled entry into the corners, and the ability to read traffic lap after lap. Those are skills you only build through repetition. Across 2 seasons, he has made just 7 ARCA Menard Series starts. 7 races simply cannot produce thousands of reps, and no simulator can replace actual door-to-door racing against other cars. He has admitted this himself, and he has even pointed out the practical, financial side of it. He said that everyone kept telling him these Pro late models were incredibly fun to drive, and that he'll be able to rack up a lot more experience for a lot less money than constantly going out and racing ARC, which he still plans to keep doing. But this new direction, he said, is going to give him the racecraft he desperately needed, because racing close to other cars in tight quarters is something you simply cannot get good at unless you do it over and over again. His hope is that running this Pro late model gives him exactly that kind of repetition. That statement didn't come out of nowhere. It's the result of a months-long conversation with one of the biggest names in the sport, and that conversation played out in 3 separate stages. The first stage came right after the Daytona truck race. Dale Earnhardt Jr. had him on his podcast, where he shared that he had received an offer from Childress Racing for select NASCAR O'Reilly Auto Parts Series starts over the following 2 seasons. Earnhardt treated the crash as a completely normal part of learning, pointing out that even veteran drivers, including himself, have gone through similar moments. He argued that the resources and knowledge inside Childress Racing would speed up his development far more than staying in ARCA alone could. The second stage was more direct. At the Cars Tour event at Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway, Earnhardt, who is part of the ownership group behind that series, opened the door himself, saying that this is exactly the kind of racing a driver like him needs to be doing instead of trying to get cleared for Talladega in an O'Reilly car. He said that if the opportunity comes calling, of course he's going to answer it and consider it, just like anyone else would, and nobody should have a problem with that. He went further, saying he should absolutely be chasing opportunities in pro cars and late models, heading to local short tracks and getting into anything he can just to log laps. He doesn't need to be winning right away, he just needs to go race, run, learn, and build up a big catalog of experience that carries him up through the higher ranks. The third stage came after Nashville Superspeedway, and it was the most direct of all. Asked on his own podcast to break down that performance, Earnhardt laid out a full plan. He said there were plenty of mistakes, but overall he thought the effort was fine. His honest opinion was that if he could lock in 2 complete seasons in ARC, running every single race, short tracks included, he would be in a much stronger position before tackling the O'Reilly series full-time. He said he doesn't mind the occasional one-off O'Reilly start here and there, but he worries the results are going to be frustrating because he's driving a far better car than a lot of the competitors around him, and while passing a few cars and having a good run feels great in the moment, eventually the frustration of not consistently running up front is going to set in. Then came the line that connects directly to this whole story. Earnhardt said that if the goal is to have fun, race well, and still learn at the same pace, that can absolutely happen in the ARC series. But he also pointed out something specific, that he's already got a pro late model that he built himself, so he should just go run that. He even said that if it were him, he'd be at that track running laps right now, that on any random Tuesday, he could just be out there running sets of tires on his own car at his own track. And that is essentially exactly what is happening now. But here's an important detail people should not overlook. This is not simply him following someone else's advice. He was already moving in this direction on his own. He actually confirmed his plans publicly back in May 2026 at the Indy 500, telling a reporter that he was building a pro late model, that it would be ready in a few weeks, and that he wanted to get his feet wet in that world and go run with the local guys. So really, the advice from Earnhardt and his own personal plan lined up at the same time. Calling it obedience isn't accurate, it's more like convergence. Now here's the part of the story that gets the least attention, but honestly might matter the most long-term. He is not just buying himself seat time, he is building an entire business around it. He is launching his own late model touring series that will run alongside his existing Crown Victoria events. His reasoning was simple when he explained it, saying that since they already run about 6 Crown Vic events a year, he wants to start his own small late model series on top of that and tag it onto what they're already doing. Wherever they travel, local racers or friends running late models can just join in too, since they're already at the track running Crown Vics anyway, so they might as well run the late model too. That's the plan, and he says he's fully committed to learning these cars and building out a real schedule of races. The debut event lands on August 15th at Berlin Raceway in Marne, Michigan, and it is paying $20,000 to the winner. At a time when short track purses have widely been described as pretty thin, that kind of prize money is enough to pull in a serious entry list. A driver who is still developing his racecraft has essentially guaranteed himself a race against strong competition at an event he owns. There's also an existing relationship to lean on here. The Freedom Factory, his 3/8 mile oval down in Bradenton, Florida, formerly known as DeSoto Speedway, already hosts events with a promoter he's worked with before, and he said he wants that promoter involved in this new venture too. He's also mentioned that converting the car from pro late model spec to super late model spec isn't a huge job, which opens up even more events he could enter without needing to build a second car. His internal team is already running events regularly, so hosting a smaller race with one class of late models is well within what they're capable of handling. One more detail that shows how seriously he's taking all of this. Reports indicate he actually sold his jet boat to help fund this late model program. For a creator whose entire channel was built around big, expensive machines, selling one of them off to fund short track racing says a lot about where his priorities are right now. None of this replaces what he's doing with Childress Racing. Back in March 2026, that team announced he would make his NASCAR O'Reilly Auto Parts Series debut driving their number 33 car as a third entry in their championship-winning program, sponsored by a car wash brand with hundreds of locations across the country. He's called the opportunity a dream come true, and he's been clear that he doesn't see this as a one-time novelty appearance built just around saying he made one big race. He said he genuinely believes his future in NASCAR looks a lot longer now, that he's trying to develop into a driver capable of competing at the highest levels, and that he wants to stick with this opportunity for a long time and keep learning as a driver. There's even been an unexpected crossover because of that relationship. Back in July, at Stafford Speedway, the 80-year-old owner of that team, who hadn't raced professionally in more than 40 years, actually climbed back into a car for one of the Crown Victoria events, and a reigning Xfinity Series champion joined the field as well. According to him, the team had been pushing him for a while to get the owner into one of these races, until he finally reached out directly and the owner simply said he was in. His next scheduled National Series appearance is the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series race at Talladega Superspeedway on October 23rd. So here's the bigger argument underneath all of this. The ceiling for Garrett Mitchell was never really about sponsorship, audience size, or access. The car wash sponsorship covered the funding. Millions of subscribers covered the attention. Childress Racing brought the equipment and the coaching. The one thing that was actually missing was repetitions, and repetitions are the one thing no sponsor logo can hand you. This is the first purchase he's made that buys him reps instead of horsepower. A dose of realism belongs here too. Berlin Raceway on August 15th is a single race against short track regulars who have been racing there for years, and he's walking in with roughly a month of owning the car and one test day at Tri-County Speedway behind him. A bad finish won't prove this whole plan was wrong. A great finish won't prove he's already arrived. The real measurement is how many races he actually runs over the next 12 months, not where he finishes on the 15th. So the real debate here is whether Dale Earnhardt Jr. is right that 2 full seasons in the ARCA Menard Series is the path that actually needs to happen, or whether this late model route gets him the same education, just faster. And there's a second question that gets answered in just a week from now. Who actually shows up at Berlin Raceway to race for that $20,000? That's it for this video. If you enjoyed breaking this story down with me, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. We're working our way toward 1,000 subscribers and every single one of you helps get us there. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate every one of you, and I'll see you in the next video.